We're gonna be on the hunt for the 3 cheapest bait casting fishing reels. Oh, we were not able to, oh, on baby, whoa. All right guys, before we dive into today's video, I want to bring a special word from the video sponsor, and that is Black Buffalo. I'm sure there are a number of you guys, just like me, who have struggled with tobacco use throughout your life. Whether or not you're just a normal outdoorsman or woman, you're a hunter, you're a fisher person, you're a fellow veteran like myself from the armed services. Doesn't matter what your background is, a lot of us have had this dependence on tobacco forever. Well, there's an answer now, folks, and it's Black Buffalo. This stuff right here in this can is the absolute best tobacco alternative dip product on the market today. Hands down, I've tried them all, guys. Well, Black Buffalo's got it figured out, okay? They have somehow figured out a way to take normal leafy greens, the types you find at the grocery store that you might purchase to bring home and feed your baby rabbit, you know, that kind of leafy green. They dry it out and then they add in their pharmaceutical grade nicotine. So you're still getting that nice nicotine feeling. You're getting a little sting in the lip. You're getting that little bit of buzz. That's what a lot of people are in it for anyways, right? Now, if that wasn't good enough, they also offer another product. They have their new Zero product right here. Now, this bad boy right here actually has no tobacco and no nicotine. That way, if you're just in it for the ritual, right? You just want to pinch a little something off, stuff it in the old lip, but you don't want any of the negative aspects of tobacco or nicotine. Black Buffalo has thought of it all. Okay, now here's the best part. Me and Black Buffalo have actually partnered for the entire year of 2022, and that means you guys get to reap the rewards of that deal. If you guys are at least 21 years of age or older and you want to check out one of these products, I want you guys to click the link right at the top of the description of this video, go to the Black Buffalo website, and when you buy something, use code LOJO22, all one word. This will be easy to remember because you're gonna get like 22% off your first order. That's where the 22 comes from, and also it's 2022. So if you're trying to quit this year, you're trying to quit a tobacco habit, you're trying to just quit a habit altogether and go with the Zero product, doesn't matter. This stuff is great. It tastes like the real thing. It looks like the real thing. Everything about it is legit, professional. I know the owner of the company, awesome dudes. They love the veteran community, they love the outdoor community. It's a win, 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 win. Make sure you guys go show them some love. Anyways, back to today's video. What is up, folks? Welcome back to another video. Now, we are standing outside of Walmart right now, but we're actually gonna be visiting the top 3 biggest stores in my city that sell fishing gear. We're doing that for a very specific purpose. We're gonna be on the hunt for the 3 cheapest bait casting fishing reels at each store. So 1 per store, 3 total. Why are we doing this? That's a great question. I don't really know. I think though it will be fun to kind of judge 3 of the cheapest reels and see kind of how they do against each other, almost like a tournament, if you will. So since we are here at Walmart, let's head inside, let's see what we can find. Now, you know Walmart's gonna have some nice cheap fishing reel selection, at least I would think so. Right off the bat, I'm seeing a bunch of cheap reels. Now, this is for bait casting reels, not spinning reels. For those of you who don't know the difference, this one right here, this is a spinning reel, AKA an open face reel. This is a bait casting reel. So this is what we're gonna be doing in today's video, but if you guys wanna see a video like this with spinning reels, just let me know in the comment section. Speaking of this one, I like how there's just no price tag right there, so not really sure what's going on with that guy right there, but I am seeing already some options under $40, which is a pretty inexpensive bait casting reel in the grand scheme of things. I actually misspoke. I thought there was a ton of options, but there's really only 3. So we got this Lose one right here with no price tag. I'm gonna go ahead and take a guess that it's gonna be more expensive than these other 2. So, because this is actually a name brand fishing reel. Now these 2 right here, this is where it's gonna come down to right here. We've got the Ozark Trail, which is the Walmart brand bait cast reel, which is for $39.98. Then we've got the Shakespeare. Wait, is this one in the right place? Agility? Oh yeah, Agility, okay. This one's $36, so only a $3 price difference, but these are the only 3 reels that are here that fall in that bait casting category. So I guess the letter of the law, cheapest one, is gonna be this Shakespeare guy right here. Now, once we find the lure from each store, we'll take them out of the package and we'll kind of do a little bit more of a deep dive, but we're up to 36 bucks. This guy looks interesting. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let's buy this, on to the next store. Here we go, found the reels. Okay, whoa, man, they got a lot more. Had a lot more than Walmart did. They already have a much better selection of bait casting reels as well. All right, according to the price tags, this is gonna be pretty easy. Now, they had a ton more stuff. We got Luz, Shimano, Akuma. That's it for those, but got a little quantum right down here, folks. $39 $34.99. And I'm gonna tell you something, this one already looks better than that one that we just bought at Walmart for $36. Now, that doesn't mean it's gonna perform better, but yeah, there's not really much else to say. There's $64.99, $54.99, $89.99, and of course the Shimano is the most expensive. It's a Quantum Nitrous, but it's spelled weird. I'm not really sure how that works, but yeah, okay. Awesome, doesn't look bad. Looks a little bit higher quality. I'm gonna save my opinion though until we start using these things. But so the first one was $36.99. This one is $39.99. We haven't really broke the bank yet. Let's just hope at least one of these reels is decent. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. I was just wishing that I could get in this case and get a nice, expensive, juicy reel, but it's not what we're here for today. All right, so actually there's a ton of selection here at Academy. I'm really happy to see that. Once again, ton of Luz stuff. You've got pins, Shimano. What else have we seen? There's some H2O Express mixed in there. There's of course the case with all the nice stuff that I'd like to be using today. But I think I found the cheapest one. Now it's actually a little bit more expensive than the last two we've bought, but that's just the options that we have here. I actually found this Daiwa right here, all right? I'm not sure, I don't think this is a Tatula or anything, but this thing is what, $59.99, but it looks like it's the cheapest one available. Now, it's gonna be tough for the other two reels to beat a Daiwa, but hey, never say never. All right, so we're gonna buy this last reel right here. That will give us 3 total bait casting reels. Now, it's time to go out to a little pond area, put this thing on the same rod, go one by one, put the same line on it and throw the same lure. Just kind of see how well they cast, how well they reel, how does a drag work when you snatch a big old fish out of the water. We're gonna find out all that information. Let's buy this one, let's get out to the pond. Let's see which one is the king of the cheap reels. All right, folks, we made it to the pond. It is windy as could possibly be, but we found a nice little calm area on this side of the pond. And luckily, there's other ponds out here too, so if this one sucked, we can always leave. Got our 3 reels right here. Let's line them up all pretty on the truck bed. Still in the boxes, you gotta love it. Now we're gonna use one rod today, the same rod, that way every single reel is getting the same fairness. So this is a go-to Guggen Squad rod. If you guys don't know what this is, it's basically equivalent to like a 7-foot medium heavy power fast action, which is a very common rod. You can pretty much throw every lure in the world on it, which is why I chose it. Which one do you think we should start with, dude? I mean, the Daiwa was the most expensive, so I definitely want to save that for last. But which one of these two? Which are these, either one of these calling to you? Quantum, Shakespeare, what do you think?
Feeling the Quantum, man.
Feeling the Quantum? I like it. I'll deal with it. Let's see if this one will open without a knife. Oh, God. Almost just cut all my fingers off. Well, I had to open the Shakespeare because that was the only one that would open by hand. So I guess we're going to go with that one first. This one came from what, Walmart? Yeah, it came from Walmart. I remember it's got this tiny little cranking handle, which I'm not crazy about. Gotta be honest, upon first glance, I mean, it looks like every single other cheap reel that I've ever bought in my life. I mean, you got your brakes, you got your tension knob, you got all the normal stuff, you got your drag. Oh wow, no clicker on the drag. Okay, I see where they skimped out on now. The handle is really small, which that's just one of my big pet peeves. I got big hands, so if a reel has small handles and, you know, just this small arm right here, just kind of like, oh man, that kind of stinks. Oh yeah, it don't look too great, but it's all right. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. We should not even be saying this now. We got to put line on it, put it to the test before we start judging it. We're gonna put some 12-pound Guggen line on this thing, just because, you know, 12-pound line, that's about, for me, it's about as light as I'm gonna go when I'm bass fishing, but it's still a very castable line size. Spooling her up. I gotta be honest, the small handle's really killing it for me right now. And the other two, I can see just by looking at them that they don't have this really small, short. Like the arm is short and the handles are short. It's like a double whammy. So it better freaking cast good. That's the only thing that's gonna save it at this point. All right, I don't wanna overfill it, but we do wanna make sure that these reels are fully loaded with line before we start casting, just to give them the best chance at not failing. Okay, that looks like really freaking loaded to me. As if we weren't playing with enough cool stuff today, got the new blazing worm right here too, guys. It's gonna be the lure that we're gonna throw around a little bit. You guys should know, but the blazing worm, terminal tackle, everything is already dropped earlier this month, so go check it out, GuggenSquad.com. There's a link right at the top of the description. As always, use code LOJO, save yourself some money. Oh great, I threw a huge bird's nest earlier because the rod fell over and pulled the line really hard.
Oh, nice.
Nice. So haven't even made a cast with the Shakespeare and it's already just, oh man, I mean this is probably like, oh, I don't want to say it's like ruined, but oh sheesh, yoink and a half. I'm gonna say this Shakespeare is really close to really close to failing already, and we have not taken a cast yet. All right, I've got that mess fixed up. Now before we take our first cast, let's just do one final look at this thing. It is a 6:2 to 1 gear ratio. There's three bearing system if you guys care about any of that stuff. I don't know if any of that stuff matters. Obviously 12-pound line. The braking system's very, very typical. I got it about, you know, halfway, which is typical. I got the tension knob pretty much set how I like it, how I would normally have it. Let's take our first cast, see how she does. So we're just gonna take a nice easy cast, so we're not gonna whip it. Okay, so did okay, no bird's nest on the first cast. That's excellent. It made a little bit of noise, which you never like to hear noise on your reel the very first time you cast it. Doesn't mean it's a bad reel though. I know this is gonna drive some people nuts, but these handles are just killing it for me. Because everything else seems okay. I mean, the operation is as smooth as it can be for, you know, $30, $40 reel, but man, those handles are just really hard to keep your hands on if your hand's larger than a 3-year-old boy's. I was just telling Andrew off camera, I've caught the same bass off this bank like 2 or 3 years in a row. That was like a big bedding female. There's a very good likelihood she's bedded here again. She's gone up like 1.5 pounds every single year. Love to run into her one more time. Okay, kind of opening up a little bit here. Every cast I take, I'm kind of trying to back off the brakes a little bit, loosen up the tension, really get this thing as close to dialed as I can. Would also love to set the hook on a fish too and kind of see how this drag is doing. I really wish it had a clicking system on the drag so I knew how much I was adjusting it at one time. Guess you just have to freaking figure it out when you break off on a giant. Little feeder fish action, maybe? Okay, I want to really try to cast this thing now that I've got it kind of dialed in. Ooh, wow, that wasn't bad. Now it was with the wind at my back, so that's something that needs to be said because we got the wind just ripping, almost preventing me from throwing a backlash, but it did pretty good on that one. I kind of whipped it, went pretty far. Never even really tried to backlash. Now I had my thumb on it the whole time, but yeah, not bad. Oh yeah, somebody did all the hard work for me. I mean, it's still quite sketchy, but at least now we can access all this. Oh man, I just got crushed, dude. Oh man, I got bit right there. I was slow swimming this blazing worm, which is one of the cool things about it. I mean, you can fish it like any other worm, just on the bottom, but if you want to swim it, it's got that great swimming action. Man, I just got crushed like 3 or 4 times, probably going right through a bed, man. That's so cool. See if I can get that fish to bite again. I was going just like this. I mean, just barely moving it. She's trying to bird's nest on me. When I really rear back and try to cast it for some distance, especially now the wind's kind of coming at me from a sideways direction, she wants to bird's nest on me. She's trying. Ooh, man. Got hit, but he didn't eat it. That's twice that's happened. There's that bird's nest. Oh, and I almost fell in too. Well, we knew it was coming. It was gonna happen eventually. In fact, I never even really got to open the brakes up. I mean, it's just kind of, blah. It's about the only noise I can use to describe. I mean, look, no hate on Shakespeare. I'm just saying this particular product, you know, 40, 50 bucks. Well, it's 40 bucks, I guess, but still, come on. Gotta do a little bit better than this. It's a 12-pound line, let me remind you guys. Another bite right there, Andrew. Oh my God, look at my line. It's wrapped around, oh, thank you, Lord. It was wrapped around like 6 different branches. It was making like a little pattern. Just got bit again. I mean, right off the bank. These fish have got to be in like a foot of water, if that. Well, I'm right back in there. Yeah, man, they're biting, they're nibbling, they're short striking, which is what they always do this time of year. But if you keep on getting in there in front of their face, they typically will eat after a while. God darn it, I just got bit again. Guys, I am not joking. I am getting destroyed over here on this blazing worm. But these bass will not commit to a full eat. Maybe they hate this reel too. Try to really bomb one out here. See what happens. Oh, yoinks. Yeah, okay. That was not the best idea I've ever had. And that's probably gonna be it for this reel. I don't know if I can take much more of this. All right, Mr. Shakespeare, I'm sorry, but your time is over. All right, so I'm just gonna do a quick grade on this reel and we'll do them for all three. So this was the second cheapest or the cheapest reel? Remind me.
I believe it was the second cheapest.
So second cheapest reel. Gotta be honest, guys, not impressed at all. I said the handles were bothering me, and they really are. It's just too small of handles. Maybe not the reel manufacturer's fault, but gotta give this thing a solid D+. Okay, I'm gonna give it a D+ because it did work in the general sense of the word work, but not very pleasurable, even for a budget reel. I mean, if it had been the cheapest reel, that'd be one thing, but it wasn't. So let's move on to the actual cheapest reel somehow, which was this Quantum. Woo, okay. Okay, I'm already telling you guys something right now. This is gonna be, oh, I've just wrecked it, broke it. This is gonna be a better reel right here. The spool is a hell of a lot smoother. The handles are actually full size. The actual part where you put your fingers and your thumb, that's got a good size to it. Aesthetically, it's not beautiful, but I will say it's better looking than the last one. And overall, I'm kind of liking this thing. I'm just gonna take that line right back off, put it right onto this bad boy.
That works.
Yep. It'll work. Gosh. This Quantum is going to be so much better, I bet you. All right, on the rod we go. And just to make sure there's no favoritism going on, we're going to throw the exact same rig, same size tungsten, same hook, same worm. So that way nobody has a real casting advantage, if you guys know what I mean. All right, before we cast this thing, we are going to give it a chance. Get everything kind of set the way I would normally set a reel, tension, brakes, the whole 9 yards. Gotta make it fair here. Oh, no click on the drag. I don't like that Quantum. I like a click. Brakes are on like 5 or 6. This thing's pretty much ready to rock and roll. Let's give her like a light, normal cast. Okay, I can tell you with 100% certainty this thing's already smoother operation. Doesn't mean it's better, it just means the operation during casting is smoother, so definitely got that. It's also making noise, which I'm just not a fan of, but you know, it's fine. Talking about the actual parts of the reel, this one's got 4 bearings as opposed to the 3 in the last one. I don't know if that matters, but whatever. Gear ratio, I have no idea. I don't see any information. Oh, there we go, 6:1 to 1. So very similar to the 6:2 to 1 that we were just using. Does feel better in your hands though. It's got a definite advantage in the feeling department. We were not able to, oh man, just got smacked. I was just about to say we weren't able to test the drag on the last one because we couldn't actually hook a fish. Just got demolished again. Look at this, guys. They are hitting this the exact same way every time, just pulling the worm off the hook, which means they're kind of like nipping at the back side of it. Once again, very normal bed fishing behavior. Especially if there's like a male on the bed that's kind of looking out for the eggs and everything, really protective of the area. He has a tendency to just nip at stuff instead of the full engulfing and eating. They really like swimming this blazing worm though, I can tell you that. They are a fan of it being retrieved in this way, right over their bed. Or not a fan, I guess we should say. They don't like it, they want to eat it. Yeah, this thing is way better at casting, that is for sure. There's no doubt about that. Let's try to bomb this thing deep. See what happens. Nice, not bad at all. And I really like, I haven't even opened up the brakes yet. I'm getting some pretty good casting distance here. I mean, I don't want to just bang the Quantum drum over here. I'm just saying, definitely made some improvements from that last reel to this one. Ooh. On, baby. Whoa, whoa, look at that fish run. That's a nice fish. Whoa, okay. Gotta utilize some drag here. We got 12-pound line. I don't know how to get this fish. Oh, there's thorns, there's snakes. We might just have to go for the old flipperoo, man. It's a terrible idea. He's not that big. Let me let him wear himself out. Come here, buddy. Don't do this to yourself. Oh, somehow. Whoa, let's go, baby. Yes, blazing worm casualty, baby. June bug color. Okay, I thought it was a little bigger than that the way you ran. Do you hear the sound when it was running? I guess that was just the reel in the line making all that noise, but holy moly. Nice fish right there. Blazing worm June bug. Freaking love that. Look at that guy right there. Beautiful fish right there, folks. Little 2-pounder. You know, nothing to write home about, but at the same time, gotta love being outdoors, catching fish on a beautiful day with a nice little cheap reel. Oh man, what an absolute beauty right there. God, I love fishing. Let's go ahead and send this guy back. I'm gonna kind of just chuck him to get him out there. Yeet! Okay, he's good. Whoa! All right, well, everything did its job on that little thing right there. Rod, the line actually held really good. I thought it was gonna snap on the flip, but hook set was fun. So the drag, okay, so I had the drag kind of set at like, I don't even know how to describe it, like 3/4 of the way down, you know what I mean? Not all the way tight, which some people fish that way. The drag never moved, like it didn't pull any drag out, which I don't like that. I wish, the way I had it set, I feel like it should have pulled a little bit of drag when it was running, but it never did. So, you know, it's a $45 reel or whatever. I don't expect the drag system to be like top notch, but I would have liked to have seen a little better performance out of this thing in that regard. But other than that, this reel was a freaking steal at that price. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a B+, okay? So not an A because of those things I talked about, but still very good, very passing grade. This thing is not bad. Let's move on to the last and final reel. All right, now when you hear the name Daiwa and you see the words Daiwa written on a package like this right here, I don't know about you, but I expect it's gonna be pretty dang good. You know what I mean? Now this is a cheap version of a Daiwa. I don't even know what this is. Mag Force, I don't even know like what model this is. Doesn't really matter. Man, now holding this Daiwa, I gotta be honest, man, there's a little bit of a difference. Yeah. You feel it, you know? This is also kind of a low profile reel as the other two have not been. So the overall size of it's a lot smaller. A lot of people like that. I don't really have a preference, but it's kind of cool that it's so much smaller and still feels really good. All right, folks, you know the deal. I've already said it a couple times. Same worm, same line, same rig, same everything. Literally the same worm. This worm has held up great. It's had like 5 bites and it's completely fine. I can tell you one thing, this dial was already going to be at a huge disadvantage because it's way windier on this side of the lake. But a little information about this guy. We got, let's see, bearings, I don't know or care. But here's, let's see, here we go. 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, so a lot faster gear ratio. I'm also going to assume this has got more than 4 bearings, but I could be a complete moron. Looks great. I want y'all to listen to something. Yeah, that's right. We got clicking noises on the drag. I know it's not like a huge deal, but I really like to have that. Got everything set. Let's cast this thing a few times. Oh my gosh, that's so much smoother into the wind. That was no problem at all. Brakes are only like halfway. Tension is pretty tight, but I've been doing that to all of them just to give them a fair shot. Wow. Yeah, this Daiwa is already better. I mean, but it was more expensive, so we kind of knew that was going to happen, but let's not crown it the king of this challenge just yet. Into the wind, no freaking problem. No problem. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not crazy about the way it looks. I'm not crazy about this like chrome plated stuff, but you know, I mean, if you're talking about looks, that's one thing. If you're talking about how a reel works, that's probably a lot more important. Handle's pretty good, size is normal, the actual grips are good. No gripe there at all. Oh, actually threw a bird's nest, wow. Got a little lazy on that cast, I believe. I think that was more user error. But there you go. The dial was not perfect either. I was having a heck of a good time just casting this thing. And it was so easy and effortless to cast. But that just goes to show, even with a decent reel, you get lazy with your thumb or the way you cast, and it may betray you. That looks like a place where a bed would be. Oh man, I had one right there. Whoa, shoot. Right where I said, oh man, there should be a bed there. Dude just bit off the tail of my freaking squiggler. Oh, I'm getting back in there with no tail. Frick it. He was right up against the grass, just like I said that. It was crazy. There's like a little like hole in the grass right there. Oh, I think I had him again. I did have him again. Look at this joker. No, look at this guy. Just one continuous clip of me missing this fish over and over again. See if I can get back in there. No tail or anything. This just shows you how aggressive they can be this time of year. He's not even, the fish isn't even looking at the lure anymore. He's just like, well, there's something in the bed. I must remove it. Come on, there he, got him again. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. Look, yoinked me again. This is where it can be like an endurance thing. And luckily I got this good reel right now so I can actually flip and pitch kind of easily. I mean, I'm putting it in his mouth. I'm putting it in his mouth every time. He's just not, he's not doing his part. This water is just dirty enough where I can't see anything. Got you that time, sucker. Whoa. Welcome to bed fishing season, baby. Oh man, look at that. I mean, not a big fish or anything, but holy moly, they will keep you on your toes. Wow. What a stud. Put him out there like that. Bend him a little bit, get your fingers behind him. AO Fishing is the one who taught me how to hold a fish so good and make it look 10 times bigger than it is. So shout out to that guy. But there you go. Let's get him back on his bed because he's doing his job. You don't want to mess with him too much other than putting a hook through their face. But right back to where he was guarding. He can go back to his, ooh, watch out for that cactus right there, bro.
Nice.
Dude, show them what you about to step on.
I about did it.
Woo, that would have got you. Yeah, that's just spring fishing in a nutshell, folks. I hope you guys are beating the bank right now, but you're gonna have to go as shallow as you can. As you guys have seen, every single one of these bites has been 3 foot of water and less. And I've made plenty of casts out into the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 region, and there's just nothing there this time of year. Now, depending on where you live, if you're in the Midwest or the North, this is probably not applying to you. But if you're in the South, it's time to go shallow, it's time to flip, and hopefully those big females are right there behind those little males, but just never know. All right, folks, so this reel right here, the Daiwa, I'm gonna give this thing an A-, all right? Now, why the A-? Why not a full A or an A+? Well, one, I don't like this whole chrome plated part right there, so you gotta be fair. It's not the best looking reel of all time. I think you guys would agree with that. In fact, the Quantum one actually probably looked a little better. But as far as functionality and performance, this thing was freaking good. I only threw one bird's nest, I think, and that's when I was like lazily casting into the wind. But whenever I was paying attention and actually using the wind to my advantage, this thing was by far the best casting reel. The drag didn't really come into play with a fish that small, obviously, so we didn't really get to test it, but there is a click. It does click, so I'm just gonna assume it works better because it has a click on there. Overall though, guys, this one and the Quantum were definitely both reels that I could use every day, but that very first one was just not something I could use every day. There was just too many problems with it, hence the D+ grade, which I'm not even sure why I gave it the plus. I think I was just trying to be nice. Anyways, folks, we're gonna wrap this video right here. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you like these types of videos. Also get in that comment section and let me know if you guys have any experience with any of these reels. Maybe you had a better experience or a worse experience than I did. I'd certainly like to hear about it. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. There's all types of videos coming out on this channel. Boat restorations, property videos, regular fishing videos like this. We do everything on this channel, so make sure you join the team, hit that bell notification, that way you guys don't miss any future uploads. Thank you guys for watching. I love you. I'm out of here.